Welcome to our this year's edition of Counter Talk. Compared to last year, we are not on a busy trade show booth, but instead we went down to this beautiful German wine cellar where we have a little glass of good wine and a word about the latest trends in the additive manufacturing community. My today's guest is Rainer Grünauer of company Trumpf. So welcome and cheers, Rainer.
Thank you very much and cheers. Let's try this. Yeah.
You like that?
Excellent.
That's good. So
Excellent wine for the afternoon.
Yes, that's right. So Rainer, let's talk about the effect that COVID-19 is having on additive manufacturing technologies. Do you think that this pandemic this year will interrupt the success story of additive manufacturing?
It's, I think, as usual, there's no clear yes and no clear no in this topic, and especially if we've seen such a downturn in business, which we actually see due to the pandemic. What we have also seen 10 years ago in this Lehman crisis, that companies were starting actually to look into new technologies, to really say that, okay, now we have maybe not so much work on that side, let's have something new, maybe we can be stronger there and teach and qualify the people. And from that point of view, yes, it might be a chance as well for the additive manufacturing. When it comes to plastic, of course, there is good chances because there is a high demand for medical devices and these kind of things. When it comes to metal, it's a little bit a different kind of story. But on the other side, of course, investments are stopped from several companies. I mean, when you take the automotive industry, that's very difficult to sell machines now into the automotive industry. But nevertheless, there are other industries like medical, space. I'm talking about aviation at the moment because we all know that thousands of aircrafts are down on Earth. So there is also a little bit of a limitation in the aviation industry, but space is very, very interesting for 3D printing. So yes and no. This is actually the answer, and we have to see what's coming in the future.
In the meantime, and independent from this COVID-19 stuff, the additive manufacturing technologies have grown up, as we said last year already. We could clearly see that at Frankfurt during the show, that it was not this feeling of a startup community, but really a serious production surrounding. Has that increased even more in the meantime?
Yeah, I think so, actually. I mean, I'm working now for the additive manufacturing team at Trumpf for 4 years already. We have started 2015. Of course, we were one of the pioneers when we started already in 2000, then stopped, and now 2015 we started again. And I think that when I came the first time to the Formnext exhibition, it was like you described, actually. It was a kind of startup, and everybody was here and there were new ideas.
All in blue jeans, right?
Yeah, can we do so? Yeah. And this was something for people. I mean, I'm working for Trumpf now for 17 years, different kind of positions. And I mean, Trumpf is a Swabian, traditional, maybe sometimes also conservative company, where we were always wearing suits and ties and all this stuff. And then you come into such a very energizing exhibition like the Formnext. It was a different world, especially for me. But I was adapting very easily on that. And it's getting more and more professional. I think the hype which we have seen from 2016, 17 onwards is now more or less over. Now we are coming in such a phase where we see that you have to make money as well with additive manufacturing. And this is starting at the moment. We at Trumpf, we believe in this additive manufacturing technology for the future. Maybe it will pick up in 2 years, maybe in 5 years. No, nobody really knows. But also in Trumpf, we have already the first serious parts, which we are using in our machines. And I mean, this is an effect which, you know, these engineers are starting to learn to think in additive manufacturing. And this will now go its way. And I think this will speed up within the next years, and we will see more and more parts produced with additive manufacturing in such kind of machine.
How did your customers' reaction change in the meantime? Because I guess in the first approaches, when you presented this technology to your, let's say, traditional customers, those big companies, grown-up companies, in the very beginning, they might have had their doubts whether this could be a substitute for other technologies. I think in the meantime that has changed, right? Is it fully accepted in the industry?
It's fully accepted in this industry from my point of view, despite we are still in the beginning phase. When we talk about our customers at Trumpf, 80% of our customers are small and medium-sized companies. We have only a few customers, of course, the big ones are all our customers, but the main customer base is small and medium size. Some of them started already with additive manufacturing. Some of them are still a little bit, can I make money with that? I don't know where it goes. But there are several of them, most of them are also very positive in additive manufacturing, which do have a product. So producing kind of packing machines or whatever, these kind of things. Those are very positive in additive manufacturing. The job shoppers, they are, let's say, on a phase where they are still learning with that technology. This is the situation.
Now we have this new situation where we have some kind of digital way of presenting products, of presenting innovation, somehow in hybrid solutions like we have in Formnext Connect this year. Do you think that there are advantages of that kind of presentation that might be used in the future as well, even if we come back to a somehow normal trade show live again?
I think so, yeah, I think so. Because what we have learned, for example, at Trumpf at the beginning of the pandemic, in spring this year, we have learned that we do not have enough VPN connections to the world, because whole Europe is connected via the headquarters, and that's the first thing which you need actually, that everybody is able to be in this digital world. And that was the first thing we have learned. And last week we have done a training, a 1-week Power Week training to prepare our sales, field sales stuff.
A virtual one?
It was a virtual one. It was 2 hours a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and that was working quite good actually. Normally we bring all the people to our headquarters, teach them and show the machines and so on, but still it was working well because we had the interaction between presentations, live video, and the feedback was quite good. So definitely in the future we will do this, despite there is a pandemic or not.
Yeah. Formnext is a trade show which is truly international. One can say that the entire world of additive manufacturing is looking onto Formnext during those usually one week or few days in autumn. This could now develop into an ongoing presentation or an ongoing meeting place, a forum, so to say, where the community meets throughout the entire year. Do you think this will have an impact on this German format in regards to the international view onto the German additive manufacturing industry? Will it strengthen our position in the market?
First of all, I think to meet people and discuss face to face will never stop. Will never stop.
Hopefully.
It will always be there because you are. This is my experience. You're selling machines not because of the technical figures and that you have USPs like the others don't have. You are also selling machines by trust. You know, it's like in the private life. You go also to the shop where you say, okay, I can trust if there's something wrong, I can call the guy and he says, yeah, no problem, we can do something. That's why the face-to-face discussions will be there. When this will be possible again, we don't know, actually. Maybe it's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. So yeah, definitely. But on the other side, we also have to see that for such an exhibition, you need always something to show, some new features, some new technologies, monitoring or whatever. So I think that such a continuous, what you just mentioned, journey or continuous session, I don't think this will be able to do. I think you always need some dates, where people are going to meet, and now they find out, okay, now I will get the latest information. Maybe this can happen also after half a year again, but not that we say, okay, we do this for the next 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks.
Okay.
I don't think so.
That's an interesting approach. Rainer, thank you very much for being here, for joining
Yeah.
our little session here in the wine cellar.
Thank you very much. for
Enjoying
having me
wine and enjoying a good word about the additive manufacturing industry. Thank you, Rainer.
here. Thank you.
And thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.